Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Svaparantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapatakalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sarvaitam Savarutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Visakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bando Jagatpate Kupesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषाभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वंशाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानं पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमः विष्णुपदाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिनिति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासरि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा Dimitri Prabhu Tandat
Haribo.
Hare Krishna, please accept my humble
Hare
obeisances.
Krishna
All
Prabhu
glories to
Tandat.
Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, please accept my humble obeisance to Srila Prabhupada.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, so today we read about rationalism. Who is the first one? Who is he?
Sounds like, oh.
Some René Descartes. Let's see what is his idea. So he lived 54 years. I agree with us. In Meditations on the First Philosophy, Descartes writes, the power of forming a good judgment and of distinguishing the true from the false, which is called good sense or reason, is by nature equal in all men. God has given to each of us some light with which to distinguish truth from error. Is he speaking of the supersoul or another form of intellection? Srila Prabhupada, the supersoul is one thing and reasoning is another. Still, reasoning should be there. For instance, through reasoning, we can understand that the body is just a lump of matter composed of skin, bone, muscle, blood, stool, urine, and so forth. Through our reasoning power, we can ask if a combination of these ingredients can bestow life. And we can come to understand that life is different from a lump of matter. Shama Sundar Das. For Descartes, all truth can be derived from reason, which is superior to and independent of sense experience. Knowledge is deductible from self-evident concepts or innate, necessary ideas. In other words, he disagrees with those empiricists who believe that truth can be derived only from sense experience. Srila Prabhupada, we cannot understand God through sense experience, but through our reason we can understand that there is God. We can reason, I have my father and my father also has a father who has a father and so on. Therefore, there must be a supreme father. God is the supreme and original father, and by reasoning we can understand that he exists. Similarly, we can also understand by reasoning that God is the creator. We see that everything has a maker, a creator, and we can conclude that this created cosmic manifestation also has a creator. This is reasoning, but rascals speculate that in the beginning there was a big chunk of matter and an explosion, or whatever, that started this universe. But if there was an explosion, there must have been some explosive. And if there was some explosive, there must have been some worker to set it off. Otherwise, how did the chunk of matter explode? Through our reason, we can perceive that everything has some creator or cause. I agree with that. Descartes claims that the good sense or reason is by nature equal in all men, but doesn't the reasoning power differ? Srila Prabhupada, yes. Otherwise, why is one man intelligent and another ignorant? When through reasoning one concludes that the living force within the body is different from the body itself, he is on the human platform. If he considers life to be nothing more than a combination of material ingredients, he remains an animal. That is the verdict of the Vedas. Yasyatma buddhi kuna betri dhatu ke swadi kala trishu bauma इत्यादि यतीर्थ बुद्धिशालिनेन करहिचित् यनेस् अभिज्ञेषु स एव गोखरः. A human being who identifies this body made of three elements with his self, who considers the byproducts of the body to be his kinsmen, who considers the land of birth worshipable, and who goes to the place of pilgrimage simply to take a bath rather than meet men of transcendental knowledge there. It is to be considered like an ass or cow. If one thinks that he is the body, he is no better than an animal. So through reasoning, we can conclude that the soul is not this and not that. This is the neti-neti process. We then have to continue our search and ask, what is soul? What is Brahman? We can then conclude that Brahman is the origin of matter and that matter is developed by the soul. That is the very conclusion in the Vedanta Sutra. The act of sex, for instance, cannot bring about pregnancy unless a soul is present. People may have sex many times and no pregnancy may result. You may sow a seed and tree may develop, but if you fry that seed before sowing it, it will not fructify because it is unsuitable for the soul to remain. The conclusion is that the soul is the basis of matter. Although the soul cannot be perceived materially, it is certainly there. Yet its presence can be understood by its symptoms, which are consciousness and bodily development. Just as the individual soul is the living force that gives life to the body, God is the supreme living force that gives life to the entire cosmic manifestation. Haribol. Okay, who wants to continue?
Dimitri Prabhu, can continue if you are free.
Yes, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Diva.
Like Dimitri Prabhu, if not, I can read, but
Yes, Prabhu, you can read.
no, Prabhu, you
I will
can.
do after you.
No,
No,
Prabhu.
I'm doing the dishes, so anyway,
Oh, okay,
you
okay,
can read
okay,
now.
then. Okay, Prabhu, okay, then. Sorry. Hare Krishna. Shyamasundara Das discretes, discards, discards disease. Discard disease method involved searching within oneself for a basis of truth. That basis is he found to be self-consciousness. He concluded that first of all I exist, and then reasoned that God exists necessarily. Srila Prabhupada, yes, I exist. My father exists. My grandfather exists, and so on. Therefore, God exists. In Sanskrit, we use the word Hankara, I am. At the present moment, we exist, but our conception of existence is incorrect. We are thinking I exist through my body. We do not understand how it is we exist. By reasoning and understanding, we have to come to know that we are spirit soul and not the body. It is the spirit soul that exists. By reasoning, we can understand that we existed as a child, as a young man, and as an old man, and that after the body is finished, we will continue to exist. I still exist, and I have passed through many bodies, and my reasoning I can conclude that even after this body is destroyed, I will continue to exist. It is stated in Bhagavad Gita, Na jayate vrit- vrityate va कण्डचिन् नयां भूत्वा भविता वा न भूया अजो नित्या शाश्वतोऽयं पूर्णो न हन्यते हन्यमन्ये शरीरे. For the soul there is never birth nor death, nor having once been does he ever cease to be. He is unborn, eternal, ever existing, undying, and perennial. He is not slain when the body is slain. Bhagavad Gita 2.20. Even when the body is annihilated, the spirit soul continues. We can arrive at this conclusion through experience, and our experience can be performed by the Shastras. This can also be concluded by reason. If this is supported in so many ways, it is a fact. Shyamasundaradas discretes claims that truth must be self evident and innate, innate, like the intuitive knowledge exists. No, Srila Prabhupada. This is innate knowledge. I exist now. I existed in the past, and I shall continue to exist in the future. This is also confirmed by Bhagavad Gita. Natau evam jatu nasam natvam ne me janadhipaha न चैव न भविष्यमाण सर्वे वयम् अतः परम्. Never was there a time when I did not exist, nor you, nor all these kings, nor in the future shall any of us cease to be. Bhagavad Gita 2.12. This is confirmed by Krishna, and my reasoning also agrees. The body changes during one lifetime, as I exist in a body that is different now from my childhood body. In the future, I will continue to exist in a different body. Ramasundaradas. For discrete discards, whatever is clear and distinct, such as the mind's consciousness of itself, must be true. Srila Prabhupada, yes, this is true. I think in this way, and this is corroborated by authoritative scriptures and confirmed by the acharyas. It is not that we think in a whimsical way. Sri Krishna, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and all the acharyas agree. Therefore, there is no doubt. They agree with us. In meditation on first philosophy, Descartes' future writes, I fall into error because the power which God has given me of distinguishing the true from the false is not in me and infinite power. If we can never be certain that we can distinguish truth from error, where does certainty lie? Srila Prabhupada, certainty is in Krishna because he is absolute, he is infinite, and we are infinite. The soul is finite Brahman, and the infinite Brahman is God. All religious accept the fact that God is the Supreme Father and that all living entities are His sons. Our existence is based on the mercy of the Supreme Father, and we can reach this conclusion by reasoning. Shyamasundar Das Descartes claims that the elementary truths of consciousness are innate in man's personality, and that they provide man with immediate and rational proof. Yes, that is a fact. Because I am part and parcel of the supreme perfection, I am minutely perfect. A particle of gold may be minute, but it is gold nonetheless. Because I am part and parcel of the supreme perfection, I am perfect in minute quantity. Of course, I cannot become as great. That is the difference. We are quantitatively one with God and qualitatively one with God and quantitatively different. All of the quality found in God are also found in us in minute quantity. Due to association with Maya, we have become imperfect. The whole process is to return to the perfectional point through Krishna consciousness, and that is called mukti, liberation. When we are situated in our original form, we attain perfection. Shyamasundara Das. Descartes says that the alleged truths which appear to our sense are unreliable, and that only innate ideas are clear and unmodeled by the senses because they are derived from our own nature. Srila Prabhupada. Is it that the truth has to be established by oneself and not by others? Shyamasundaradas. He first researched within himself to find some innate, innate, innate means what, Prabhu? Innate, 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 innate,
Innate.
innate.
Let's see what the Google says. I don't know how to explain it.
innate.
Innate.
Innate. Innate. Existing in belonging to or determined factors. Okay. Innate by basis for truth. First of all, he discovered that I am. Srila Prabhupada ages ago, there were many people who could understand this. A fool thinks that all others are fools. A deaf man will talk very softly because he thinks that the sound he is making is sufficient. He has no other experience. If everyone thinks that all others are like himself. It is not that Descartes was the first man to realize the identification of the self. I am. This awareness has been existing a very long time. Krishna says, huh? Port अहम एवं अहम एवस अहम एवसम एवग्रे नन यद यद सद असत परम पश्चाद अहम यद एतत् च यो वैशिष्यता सोमस्यम सोमस्ये sorry so Sneham. Brahma, it is I, the personality of Godhead, who was existing before the creation when there was nothing but myself. Nor was there the material nature the cause of this creation. That which you see now is also I the person. I, the personality of Godhead, and after annihilation, what remains will also be I. And sorry, the personality of Godhead, Bhagavatam 2.933. This is Krishna talking about the creation, but we can also say the same. We existed before these bodies were created, and we will continue to exist when these bodies are annihilated. However, our business involves these little bodies, and Krishna's business involves the whole universe. That is the difference. So, these conceptions of I is present in God as well as in the living entity. What is so new about all this? I
Hare
agree with
Krishna.
us.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhu Tandat Pranam Jai Shri Prabhupada. Yes, Karti Prabhu, you
Hare
can.
Krishna.
Yeah.
Hare
Krishna
Krishna,
Prabhu,
Karti
please accept my
Prabhu.
humble obeisances, all the
Hare
Rishi Shri
Krishna.
Prabhupada.
Please
Hare
accept my humble
Krishna.
obeisances to all
Hare
the
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna
Rishi
Jai
Prabhu
Shri
Prabhupada.
Prabhupada.
Dandatanam Jai Srila Prabhupada.
Prabhu, I have one small urgent question. Can I just ask? Actually, one of my teammates here asking me this, and I just wanted to clarify him as soon as possible. Is it okay if I can ask a question now?
Yes, Prabhu. Where it is?
Okay. Prabhu, I will send you his message. Okay, now I'm like so confused what to say, but I'll just send you his message to Telegram. Just please wait for 1 minute. I'm so sorry if I caused any disturbance. Mm. The
Are you
thing is, his parents are causing him some issues, so that is why I wanted to answer him quickly so that he has more time to read it. So you see, Prabhu, I'll just read the message. Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, and please accept my humble obeisances. All glory to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhu, yesterday, when I was listening to His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada's Kirtan, Prabhu, I told this land to hear Srila Prabhupada's transcendental voice with Hari Bhajans, so there will be a rain. And today, here it is rained, Prabhu, by the mercy of His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, and all great Vaishnavas, and Sri Panchatattva and Sri Radha Krishna Prabhu. And today I played His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada's Hare Krishna Mahamantra Kirtans, Prabhu. The small boys and girls started to chant automatically, happily, and they love Singapore more because of our ISKM temple, Prabhu. They listened full Kirtan, Prabhu. And then, at last, the small girl there asked me to get daily rain. What should I do? And I told chant Shri Shri Gauranga, Shri Shri Panchatattva, and Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Prabhu. Now, you see, the point is that, okay, that's a fact, like the material nature reciprocates if we are all devotees of God. But this is not indicative of pure devotional service, right? So, how do I answer this to him? Like, what do I tell him?
so just I don't know. I would say that that's just good because he's kind of like preaching because he's making them hear. He was saying he played Prabhupada's chanting Mahamantra, so that's the most pure version of the Mahamantra, and he made them listen to it. So I think that's preaching. So you can say that he can add this to his sadhana chart, maybe.
Yes, so that's there. But the point was that I'm confused because the thing is that usually when preaching, we do not tell people, okay, you want rain, you chant Hare Krishna right now, and tomorrow Krishna will give you rain for the next 7 days.
Yes, bro, but that's okay also. And it's also philosophically like we don't need to promise them that okay that in 7 days something will happen. We can just say that if you chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, that will bring rains. That's enough. We don't have to say give some promise that okay, you do this, then in 50 minutes there will be huge rainfall. No, we don't need to say like that, but it's a good way. You can cheat someone. You can say that oh, Neymar chants this Mahamantra, so you should also. He is great footballer because he chants this mantra. And if the person starts to chant the mantra because he really believes that Neymar chants it and does the tricks because of that, it's good then. That's good preaching. Or Dimitri Prabhu, what do you think? Am I wrong?
No, Prabhu, you're perfectly right. Just tell him. Just tell him. To encourage those kids
Yes,
to
Prabhu.
chant the
Because
holy name.
philosophy they wouldn't anyways take if you start to explain,
Yeah,
this rain works like this and that, then they would not get interested about the chanting.
even
But
if they think that this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra causes the rainfall, it's also nice. At least they will be chanting.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah. Okay. No, because I was just asking because I heard somewhere that some devotees were chanting and then there was rainfall, but then Prabhupada said, no, this is not good. This is not pure devotional service. So that is why I wanted to confirm once before just messaging him or sending a voice message to him.
yes, Prabhu, I remember this story also, but I don't remember how like what Prabhupada exactly said then, because there was one time there was big drought and there was some man in the village and he said that okay, now we are gonna do big Nagar Sankirtan, and the intention of the who initiated the chanting, that was wrong because he was teaching everyone. He was going around and saying that okay, now we do this chanting because of we will make the rain come. So I think that's wrong. But if they, because it wasn't Dharani Prabhu's idea. He didn't go to them saying that okay, this is some rain making mantra. The people just came to him and they like were talking about the mantra in relation to the rain, and he said okay, yeah, this can be related. but it didn't mean that he was instructing them that we are just doing this chanting because we want rain and like this.
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I'll share this with him.
I wonder where it was the rain.
I think maybe Srila Prabhupada Leela.
Yes, Prabhu.
I remember Srila Prabhupada, I mean, he was explaining, I mean, he told that in one place, maybe Hyderabad, there was no any rainfalls, and after they're performing Nagar Sankirtana, there was a huge rainfall, and even it was in newspaper actually,
Yeah,
I believe.
I was trying to find that because I think that's the same story that Karti Prabhu is talking.
But I have a question, but what if some kind of rascals challenge us by telling, if you're saying that you can cause the rainfall by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, I mean, can you prove it and go to the street, chant Hare Krishna, and then the rainfall?
Yes, Prabhu, it doesn't work like that because Krishna is not he's not supplying our orders. If he wants, he can bring rain when we chant, but
Yeah, but they will say, but you see, I mean, before that you said that this causes the rainfall, and now you're trying to avoiding this. I mean, they
yeah,
will
I
start
would say that you
speculating.
understood wrongly that this is part of the cause that it's raining right now, but this is not the cause.
Mm.
Krishna is the cause of the cause, but this is partly the cause that it's raining right now because we did the Nagar Sankirtan. Krishna can also take the rain away if he wants right now when we are doing this Sankirtan. So it's not, it's same as, it's same like, I'm trying to think some example. Yeah, I'm not. I had some example in my mind, but I think it's not.
Because if I were an atheist, I would argue like anything. I mean, you cannot prove it, your rainfalls thing.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, yeah, that's not for them. Because in Shastra they say that this rainfall is caused by yagna, but they don't believe in yagna. So, anyways, it's not for
I
them.
rem I remember one Russian devotee. I mean, I watched the video. I mean, a Russian devotee and his daughter, maybe 12 years old. Uh, they too performed Nagar Sankirtan, and there was a sunny day, like maybe it was at 4 p.m. And I mean, and the sun was shining like anything, and it was not cloudy, but still there was some rain, and on top of that there was a rainbow. And that devotee, I mean that Prabhu, he said that, I don't remember, but he said, I believe maybe it's from Shastra, maybe it's Srila Prabhupada explained this, that when you have a rainbow while doing Sankirtan, it's a blessing from demigods. Like it's demigods' job to put that rainbow. I
Yes,
mean,
Prabhu. Yeah. Yeah, because the materialistic they will always think it mechanically. They will think that this chanting is some button that you press and the rainfall comes. It's not like that because then if someone is chanting 25/7, 24/7, then there would be always rain. And what happens when there is always rain? There is what is Karti Prabhu still here? Yeah, Karti Prabhu saw what happened in Dubai when there was too much rain. So it's not that you can ruin the places by causing rain by chanting Mahamantra either, because it's all controlled by Krishna. It's not controlled by the chanting of the mantra itself.
yes.
Yes, Prabhu. And also, like, the thing is that what is the use of our chanting actually?
Yes, Prabhu.
I mean, our chanting is practically useless. Prahlad Prabhu says you cannot call your chanting devotional service.
Yes,
How
Prabhu.
can an offense be a devotional service?
Yeah.
How Namaprad is devotional service?
Yes, Prabhu.
So
This is nice
the
point
quality
out.
of chanting is also, yeah, the quality of chanting also matters. And
Yeah.
of course, the pure devotee never does anything like this. Pure
Yeah.
devotee
Yes,
does
Prabhu.
it
Yeah.
simply for the sake of pleasing Krishna.
Yeah.
But suppose maybe to convince the people, like for example, Lord Jesus Christ, right? He walked on water, and similarly, he did so many miracles. So maybe to do things like this to increase the faith in people, then the pure devotee might maybe do something like this. And if the pure devotee says something, Krishna does it, no
Yes.
doubt. But if someone Namapra chanting like me, then why Krishna has to reciprocate actually?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
And actually,
Yes.
one more point Prahlad Prabhu used to say is that that's why your chanting is useless. No, our service is much more important. If we say, okay, I'm going to stop my service, I'm just going to chant, just going to read, not video edit or whatever, or clean the temple or whatever, then what is the point? Like, ultimate point is nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah.
There is no taste even then. It's just mechanical.
It's like Goshthanandi, right? Those who, perform devotional service alone. And the opposite is Bhajananandis, who is preaching. Or maybe I'm confused. Maybe another way around. Does anyone remember which one is correct?
I think Sami Prabhu should remember. I forgot.
So
I think Bhajananandi, those who preaches, and
yes, Prabhu.
or maybe, yeah.
What was the other one?
Goshthanandis. Like from that video on Aindra Prabhu,
Yeah.
like he told that Srila Prabhupada came to his dream and said we should become Bhajananandis who is preaching, like mixed of both.
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Then Sudhar Kapal Prabhu said it also. That
Yeah, he said, but Prabhupada came to my dream also, and he said that we should become Goshthanandis.
yes, Prabhu. Yeah, that was funny.
And right, like from the seventh canto, Prahlad Maharaj, he said that I don't care for my liberation. I want to bring all these rascals to back to Godhead. Because he's saying there are many people who is, it's like they're in their comfort zone, because when they perform devotional service, they then don't care for delivering others. So he chastised such a mindset.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, in any way, everyone can in any way preach in some way. Even if they don't know how to say anything, they can put some stickers in the walls that say, please chant Hare Krishna or something. They can always do something. They can even write,
like
know the Mahamantra.
Yeah, like today I was preparing for this English lesson, and I was like, okay, I will definitely have to say something about Krishna consciousness and all that. But when it came to action, when it came to speaking, I completely forgot a lot of things, and it wasn't, like I wanted. But anyway, seems
Yeah.
like I did okay.
Ribol. Yes, that's nice.
Because it was the fifth lesson, and it was another person, because I'm looking for a good teacher. The previous 4 ones, I didn't like them much, and whenever I told them about Krishna consciousness, they were like, okay, and then we went then we moved to another topic. But this time it was a little bit different. He challenged me a little bit, so he asked an additional questions. So he tried to learn more about this.
Yes.
And of course, I tried to preach him softly. So because I couldn't, I could have said that, okay, meat eating is bogus and all this, but I'm sure maybe he is a meat eater, so I decided not to push too hard. So I said, I'm not going to judge people who who eat meat, but at least I myself, I gave up simply by chanting Hare Krishna, and he was like surprised.
Yes, Prabhu. And when they're surprised, usually I tell them I was bigger meat eater than you are, than you ever gonna be. I've usually tell
Yeah. And he was confused a bit. He was like, so you're a vegetarian or a vegan? And I explained him, so neither this, neither that. So, and I explained him that, because those vegans, vegetarians, they claim to be a good souls, and because they don't kill anyone, but we know that plants are also living entities, and we commit sins when we kill them. So to avoid this, we need to offer food first to the Lord. So I explained a little bit the process, and he was like, "Wow." Because and
Yes.
and he admitted he never heard anything like this before. That's why he asked me to prepare a presentation on this to the next lesson.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, people like this are nice, who are like surprised and they ask questions, and sometimes
Yeah.
people come. Kati Prabhu, were there something else?
No, Prabhu, just one question. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I'm so sorry if I disturbed you. I'm so sorry. Thank you so much.
Prabhu,
Hare
was
Krishna.
so much to get. So was so nice to get your association. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you. All glories to Prabhupada.
Jai
Thank you,
Shri
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
1 second. Oh, it's really long chapter. This Descartes had a lot to say. Okay, we can read few more pages. Haribol. Who wants to continue?
May I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Hare Griva. Descartes considers God a substance that is infinite, immutable, independent, all-knowing, and all-powerful. He is the creator of all things. Descartes writes, "Perhaps all those perfections which I am attributing to God are in some fashion potentially in me, although they do not show themselves or issue an action." Prabhupada, I have often explained that the qualities that are infinitely present in God are finitely present in the living entities. For instance, the creative force is also within us, and we can create an airplane that can fly. However, we cannot create another planet that can float in space. Although we may be able to create so many wonderful devices, we are still finite. The creative power is present both in God and in the living entities, because the living entities are part and parcel of God. God's knowledge is total, and our knowledge lies only within our limited sphere. God knows everything, and we know some things. The difference was pointed out by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita. Vedanam samatitani vartamanani charjuna bhavishyani cha bhutani mam tu vedana kaschana. O Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me no one knows. Bhagavad Gita 7.26. Shema Sundar. Descartes worked with a four-part methodology, which is now called Cartesian methodology. First of all, one is never to accept anything as true, which is not known truly and distinctly to be true. Prabhupada. Of course, it is commendable not to accept anything blindly, but if you do not have the intelligence to understand, you have to consult one who is intelligent. Shema Sundra. He felt that the truth must be as clear and distinct as mathematical proof. Prabhupada. That is good, provided one is a mathematician. But if one is a plowman, what can he understand about mathematics? Shema Sundra. According to Descartes, it was up to those who could understand mathematics to chalk out the truth and pass it on to those less intelligent. Prabhupada. In other words, higher truth cannot be understood by everyone. We have to accept the truth from authorities. Therefore, take the Vedas as true, Shruti Pramanam. When the Vedas give evidence, we accept it whether we understand it or not. Shema Sundra. The second part of his methodology involved dividing the complex into simpler and simpler parts in order to arrive at a solution. In this way, the whole will be proved. Prabhupada, but one must be expert in analysis. If I give you a typewriter to fix and you know nothing about the machine, you will open it up, see all the parts, and not know how to adjust it. It is easy to open the machine up, but it is very difficult to adjust it. Very good answer. Shema Sundra. The third part involved arranging ideas from the simplest to the more complex, according to the sequence of events. Prabhupada, first of all, we must understand that we are spirit soul. That is the first step in our process. We must first understand ourselves and how we are existing despite these changes of bodies. We have to study ourselves as masters of our bodies. Then we can conclude that for the universal body, there is another source. That is the super soul. Oh God, just as my body is existing due to my presence, the gigantic Virat body exists due to the presence of the supersoul. Everything in the universe is constantly looking fresh and new. Therefore, there must be a large soul maintaining it. This is confirmed by the Vedas. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. God is all pervasive as Brahman, and he is also within the smallest atom. By his plenary expansions, God pervades the entire universe. According to the Vedas, there are different manifestations of God: Mahavishnu, Karantagashai Vishnu, Garbhadagashai Vishnu, and Kshiratagashai Vishnu. What is the difficulty in understanding this? In large lamps and small lamps, there is the same electricity. The Mayavadi philosophers consider only the similitude. What is this? Only the similitude. Okay, yeah. They do not take the varieties into account. God is all pervasive, but there's variety. Shimasundara. How is it that we create the body by our presence? Prabhupada, you create your body by your work. A dog has created his body according to his desire, and a tiger creates his body according to his. In any case, the soul is the same. The learned man, the Pandita, does not see the external varieties but the soul within. According to their desires and activities, souls are acquiring different bodies. Therefore, there are 8.4 million different types of bodies. Krishna claims all of these as his sons. Aham bija pradah pita. I am the seed-giving father. Krishna, the father of all, gives the seed, but the son creates his own situation. Some of his sons are very rich, some very poor. Some are great scientists and philosophers, and some are simply rascals. When a child is born, the father does not say, "You become a rascal," or "You become a scientist," or whatever. The father sees them all as his sons. Shimasundara. The fourth part of Cartesian methodology involves taking into account the most detailed points and making sure that nothing is omitted. Srila Prabhupada, yes, that is knowledge. For instance, we are considering the details when we consider the difference between the Supreme Lord and ourselves, Shimasundara. And we can place everything in the scheme of Krishna's creation, Prabhupada, yes. Krishna says, Aham Sarvasya Prabhava, I am the origin of all. Krishna says that he is the bija, the seed or the soul, the spiritual spark of all living entities. Shimasundara. Descartes also suggested rules of conduct which everyone should follow. He felt that we should obey the laws and customs of our nation, religious faith, and family tradition, and should avoid extreme behavior. Prabhupada. That is a good proposal. Actually, family tradition is respected in Vedic civilization. In Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna argues, Kulakshaya pranashinti kuladharma sanatanaha dharmenashte kulam krisna madharma bhavatyutam. With the destruction of dynasty, the eternal family tradition is vanished. Sorry. And thus, the rest of the family becomes involved in irreligious practice. This means that Arjuna was respecting family traditions, but Krishna pointed out that this consideration was material. It really has no spiritual value. Therefore, Krishna chastised Arjuna, telling him, that he was situated on the material platform. Arjuna was lamenting over things for which a learned man does not lament. So perhaps Descartes made these propositions for ordinary men, but they are not for those who are highly elevated or spiritually advanced. Okay, anyone can continue next.
Thank you so much, Prabhu. Shama Sundar Das. Descartes considered these practical rules for daily conduct. He also believed that we should stand by the convictions we have formed and be resolute in the course of action we have chosen. Prabhupada, this could be also This could also be a dog's obstinacy. However, if our final conclusion is true, then this obstinacy is nice. But if we have not reached the final goal, the absolute truth, such obstinacy is an impediment to advancement. This should not be generally applied because in the neophyte stage, we must be flexible. In the advanced stage, when we are firmly situated in the truth, it is of course good to stand by our convictions. That is determination. For instance, we have understood that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. No one can change us in this conviction. In the Christian system, they say that only Jesus Christ can help one go back to Godhead. So here Prabhupada addresses it. I should copy this because this often comes and I don't know one way to explain them. No one can change because they say that Jesus Christ is the only Son and through this only Son there is possibility. So here Prabhupada explain. No one can change us in this conviction. In the Christian system, they say that only Jesus Christ can help one go back to Godhead. That was meant for those whom Jesus Christ instructed, because Jesus Christ saw that if people left him, they would go to ruination. Nimanita Prabhu also explained. So here is where he got the thing. He has read this conversation, I think.
What is that again? Jesus Christ. That was meant for those whom Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that it was
Oh,
from
okay.
that age.
But Prabhu, what if they counter argue and will say, but you see, Krishna is telling that he is the only one, only for you who believe in him, but for us there is, I mean, Lord Jesus Christ. Maybe you are also those people. I mean,
yes, but I would say
it was meant for only for you. Yeah.
Like it was meant because this was meant, what Jesus Christ said was only meant for those people in the villages. But if they say that this is only meant for us, then that's kind of true because it's meant for us, everyone in the planet right now.
Yes, and we need to prove them because they can say, okay, you say it was meant for those people, but what about you? It was also meant for those people in the past. I mean, Krishna, like Supreme God for those people in the past, and you follow this and we follow Christianity. So what is the difference?
Yes, I would say that in the past there was no Veda base or any books or anything that it is now for us, everyone. That's why God brought this technology so you can study these things. Before there was no this technology, so these could not be studied in wide. Only certain people knew if they heard from the proper source, but now it's open to everyone.
Yeah.
Yes, really.
And I remembered one point that like Srila Prabhupada recently, I mean, I listened to an interview with some journalists from maybe from New Delhi, I believe, and many people asked him. So one man asked, where he said that, but why are you considering this Hare Krishna movement? I mean, like an international, because Bhagavad Gita is for Indians, and Srila Prabhupada cut him off like by saying that, have you read your own Bhagavad Gita? In the second chapter, he is saying that the boy became, I mean, what is that? I mean, a child became a man. I mean, a boy, and then a boy become a man. A man becomes an old man. So
Yeah.
it is not about an Indian. I mean, it is applicable to everyone. So why are you saying that it is only for Indians? I mean, so he put
That was
forward
nice
such,
example
yeah,
first, actually.
because it is truth for everyone. Not that, I mean, it is only be applicable. Yeah.
Only Indians get old. That's fun.
Yeah. And another argument I like, for example, how we can connect, like Jesus Christ, he's saying, I am the Son of God, I mean, of the Father in the heaven. And who is that Father? And in this, like recently, I was reading in 14.4 Bhagavad Gita, he's saying, Aham bija pradakpita, I am the seed giving Father, I am that Father.
Yes.
So where is the difficulty? I mean, there's no difference, like, I mean, there's no contradiction, like, he is the Son and he's speaking about the Father, and here's Krishna who is speaking, I'm that Father. So
yeah, that's right.
and like today when I was talking to this tutor, I told him that the main thing is knowledge. It is not about being sectarian and saying that my religion is better than yours, because ultimately all religion, I mean, speaking about the same God, he's just named differently and the ways of approaching him is different, but the main thing is knowledge. And if, for example, I told him, if I found some, for example, some movement that offers more knowledge, then for this Hare Krishna movement, I will definitely accept this. But so far, I mean, there's nothing more complete than Hare Krishna movement,
Yes,
like I told him.
yeah, even if
Like for example, yes.
yes, Prabhu.
Yes, Prabhu.
I was just
Like,
saying that, I mean, if I'm in 9th grade and I want more knowledge, I'm going to college or university. It is not that I'm staying in my school and saying that no, university is bogus. I mean, because after all, if you're a physician, I mean, it doesn't matter where you graduated from. The main thing is knowledge. So it doesn't matter whether you are coming from, I mean, Massachusetts or whatever university it is, MIT. I mean, if I learned programming, I mean, from, I mean, MIT, and another one from self-taught or maybe from some online courses, it doesn't matter. The main thing is knowledge. So the same thing
Yeah.
is here.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah,
But
that's
of course, self-taught is not applicable to our case, because like in the beginning he asks me, what is this yoga, so do you have a guru? I mean, what is that? And then I explain him that basically, I mean, guru or a teacher, it is applicable in any sphere of our lives. Just like now I'm learning from you, you are my teacher. So to learn English, I mean, I required a teacher like you. So same applies to spiritual science, and he agreed to this point. So
yes, Prabhu.
yes, Prabhu. Like, even if they follow the religious principles, all they cannot be get Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
So Krishna tells that in Bhagavad Gita. We are so like, Krishna was so merciful that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave the Maha Mantra, and we can include in Brahma.
yeah.
Where is this?
Where are you looking? I'm going through my notes
Where is this?
about
This?
Christian.
It should be here.
What is that?
One verse. 1 second. Is it here?
Okay.
Yeah, it's this purport. Even if one follows all the 64 regulative principles, he cannot attain pure devotional service with a contaminated heart. So the
I
consciousness.
believe I have this in my note also. I found one nice purport also from, but it's not from Madhya, it's from Adilila. The last chapter. I believe probably Tatwait Prabhu went through this. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, so okay, the verse. After hearing these statements by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Kazi, his argument's stance, could not put forward any more words. Thus, after due consideration, the Kazi accepted defeat and spoke as follows. So in purport, Srila Prabhupada writes, in our practical preaching work, we meet many Christians who talk about statements of the Bible. When we question whether God is limited or unlimited, Christian priests say that God is unlimited. But when we question why the unlimited God should have only one son and not unlimited sons, they are unable to answer. Similarly, from a scientific point of view, the answers of the Old Testament, New Testament, and Quran, too many questions have changed. But a Shastra cannot change at a person's whim. All Shastras must be free from the four defects of human nature. The statements of Shastras must be correct for all time. So, yeah, you see, he's saying the Old Testament, New Testament, Quran, so many changes, by Shastra never changes.
What was the verse?
17168 Adi,
Okay.
68 Adi Lila. Yeah. Yeah.
No, page don't fall.
Where is this? Can you go to URL? I mean, there must be some mistake here if it said it's not found. What is this fee before CC? Some nonsense. It must be library, I believe. Library/CC. What is this? Can you go to database?
It's secret verse.
Oh, IO/EN. It means English language. So this, yes, and that's, yeah. Yeah, I said purport. Sim. What is that again? Okay, another argument I found. Okay, the verse. Now, I believe it's about Narada Muni and that hunter, Mrigari. Narada Muni continued, all the animals that you have killed and given unnecessary pain will kill you one after the other in your next life and in life after life. And in purport, according to Judeo-Christian scriptures, it is clearly said, thou shalt not kill. Nonetheless, giving all kinds of excuses, even the heads of religions indulge in killing animals while trying to pass as saintly persons. This mockery and hypocrisy in human society bring about unlimited calamities. Yeah, so basically he's saying that Christians, one of the cause of those wars that
Yes,
took place.
yeah. That was meant for these whom Jesus Christ instructed, because Jesus Christ saw that if the people left him, they would go to ruination. He saw that these inferior people had to stick to him in order to progress. Yeah, so still in this day, they say like this, that we need to stick to Jesus Christ. But they don't know who Jesus Christ is, what he wanted them to do. They have created their own Jesus Christ in their mind. And they say we have to believe this imaginary Jesus Christ who let us eat meat and do all these things. Jesus is so nice.
Yes, bro.
Yeah.
Prabhupada also say this.
Yes.
They do all the sinful activities and they will say Jesus is there like that.
Yes, bro.
Like Nimanite Prabhu also tells that keeping that example, Jesus Christ is an what they think that Jesus Christ is an sinful, what do we say, uh, clearing all sinful
Yes,
reactions
bro.
of
Yeah, he's like contractor.
like that.
Yes, bro. Yeah, but some Christians might argue, they might challenge like this, that they say that, see, you have to follow our rules and you have to follow those, that you don't commit sins and go to hell. But our spiritual master was so strong that he took all our reactions, and we don't even have to follow anything and we will go to heaven. They might say that Srila Prabhupada is not so powerful because you have to still follow all the things, and we get the same result by not following anything. So Jesus is the most powerful.
Yeah, but where it is said that you can, I mean, what is that? My point is that yes, he took all your sins, but he did it at that time, and from that time onwards, you should not commit any sins. Not that you signed a contract that yes, from now on I can do whatever I like.
Yes, Prabhu. Yeah, but
And
they argue that Jesus Christ took more sins than anyone can commit in total. So he
yes, he took, but where it is said that he will be taking them in the future. Even after he was
yeah.
crucified.
I've also said that, but they say that he already took all the future sins also. He took from future, so there is no sin for anyone who believes in Jesus, even though if they commit sin. So they say like this.
Yes, but if he, okay, if he took all sins, that means you can do whatever you want. But why then he gave those 10 commandments? He could have not just given them.
Yeah, why he gave them?
Why he gave all those rules to follow if you are free from not to follow?
It's formality, Prabhu.
Yes.
Formality.
It's for those from whom he couldn't take sins away.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yes, that's actually nice. Yeah, there is no reason to give any rule.
Okay, concerning this, I found a nice short verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It doesn't even have doesn't even have a purport. So it is saying it's about a heavenly planet. I believe some paradise, some heaven city is described, maybe Indra's city, I don't know. So it is saying, no one who was sinful, envious, violent toward other living entities, it means killing or meat-eating, cunning, falsely proud, lusty, or greedy, could enter that city. The people who lived there were all devoid of these faults. And I took a note that Christians are not allowed to the heaven.
Yeah.
Because it's
What is this verse?
It's 8, 15, 22. I believe in this country Indra's abode is described. I remember I was taking a lot of notes, like
Yes, Prabhu. I will add it to the
I
meeting.
remember that it was nicely described, like even pigeons are there. I was like, wow, so pigeons even are in the heavenly plans.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah. And what is this? And another nice verse to conclude this. So it's from purport. So Srila Prabhupada writes, if a person is religious, he must accept the supreme authority of the Lord, becomes his devotee, and try to love him. This is the real principle of religion. It doesn't matter whether one is Christian, Muslim, or whatever. He simply must accept the sublime position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and render service unto him. It is not a question of being Christian, Muslim, or Hindu. One should be purely religious and freed from all these material designations. In this way, one can learn the art of devotional service. This argument appeals to what is?
Yes, Prabhu, we can continue and then tell what the verse.
Okay. This argument appeals to all intelligent men, and consequently, the Krishna consciousness movement is gaining ground throughout the world. Okay, this is Madhya 25:20. I just copied and pasted the whole purport in my notes because it is nice. Yeah, not many notes I have on Christianity. I believe I have more in another app. Yeah, the point is very simple. Like he always says, of course, in public, like Nimanta Prabhu yesterday, today he's explained, yesterday he said, we should know how to talk privately, and how we should present philosophy in public. Because like Srila Prabhupada, when he was asked, what do you think of Christianity or Islam? He said, whatever it is, they must follow. This is the main thing. But
Yes.
when he has when he had those morning walks or personal conversation with his with his devotees, of course he always he often criticized, like,
Yeah.
actually those religious does not offer much, actually.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah,
Thanks for sharing this. It was really nice.
yeah, no problem.
I got more notes. Okay, Haribo, now we can go to 6 Astakam prayers. Cheto darpanamarjanam bhavamahadavagninirvapanam shreyah kairava chandrika vitaranam vidyavadu jivanam anandam buddhivardhanam pratipadam purnamritasvadanam sarvatma snapanam param vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtanam.
Namna, you can continue, Prabhu.
No, Prabhu, I was just accidentally unmuted.
नाम्ना मकारि बहुधानि सर्वशक्तिर्तत्रार्पितानि यमिता स्मरणेन काला एतादृशी तव कृपा भगवन् ममापि दुर्दैवमिदृशम् ऐजनीननुग्रहा
Trinadapi sunichana tarorapi sahishnana amanina manadena kirtanyeha sada harihi.
न धनं न जनं न सुन्दरीं कवितां वा जगदीश कामये मम जन्मनि जन्मनीश्वरे भवतात् भक्तिरहै दुःखी त्वयि.
ऐनन्दतनुजा किङ्करं पतितं माम विस्मयं बहाम्बुधौ कृपया तव पादपङ्कजा सितदूरी सदृशं विचिन्तया
Nainam galida shuddharaya vadanam gadgada rukhaya gira pulakair nichitam vapuhu kada tavanama grahani bhavishyati.
युगा इदं निमेषेण चक्षुषा प्राविश्य इदं शून्य इदं जगत् सर्वं गोविन्दविरहेण मे.
अश्लिष्य वा पदारतं विनष्टु मामदृशनान् मर्म हतं करोतु वा यथा तथा वा विददातु लम्पटो मत्प्राणनत्सस्तु एव न परः
Haribo, glory to the Sri Krishna Sankirtan, which cleanses the heart of all the dust accumulated for years and extinguishes the fire of conditional life of repeated birth and death. The Sankirtan movement is the prime benediction for humanity at large because it spreads the rays of the benediction moon. It is the life of all transcendental knowledge. It increases the ocean of transcendental bliss and it enables us to fully taste the nectar for which we are always anxious.
O my Lord, your holy name alone can render all benediction to living beings, and thus you have hundreds and millions of names like Krishna and Govinda. In these transcendental names, you have invested all your transcendental energies. There are not even hard and fast rules for chanting these names. O my Lord, out of kindness you enable us to easily approach you by your holy names, but I am so unfortunate that I have no attraction for them.
one should chant the holy name of the Lord in a humble state of mind, thinking oneself lower than the straw in the street. One should more tolerant than a tree devoid of all the senses of false prestige, and should be ready to offer all respects to others. In such a state of mind, one can chant the holy name of the Lord constantly.
O Almighty Lord, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women, nor do I want any number of followers. I only want your causeless devotional service, birth after birth.
O son of Maharaj Nanda Krishna, I am your eternal servitor, yet somehow or other I have fallen into the ocean of birth and death. Please pick me up from this ocean of death and place me as one of the atoms at your lotus feet.
Oh my Lord, when will my eyes be decorated with tears of love flowing constantly when I chant your holy name? When will my voice choke up and when will the hairs of my body stand on end at the recitation of your name?
O Govinda, feeling our separation, some considering a moment to be like 12 years or more, tears are flowing from my eyes like torrents of rain, and I'm feeling all vacant in the world in your absence.
I know no one but Krishna as my Lord, and he shall remain so even if handles me roughly by his embrace or makes me broken-hearted by not being present before me. He is completely free to do anything and everything, for he is always my worshipful Lord unconditionally.
Haribol, Sri Siksastakam ki
Hari
jai.
Bol.
Jai.
Okay, the 10 offenses to the holy name. First offense.
Um, Okay, the first offense. 1 second. Yeah, to blaspheme or criticize devotee who is propagating the glories of the chanting of the holy name.
Haribol. Yes, Prabhu.
Yeah.
Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva and Lord Brahma to be an independent of the name of the Lord Vishnu,
Yes,
equal
Prabhu.
to or absent.
Third offense is to disobey the orders of the spiritual master.
The fourth offense is blaspheming the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance to the Vedic version.
Fifth offense, first setting rule
Yes, Prabhu.
to consider the glories of the chanting of Hare Krishna to be an imagination. Okay.
6, to give some interpretations to the holy name of the Lord.
Okay, 7, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name.
Eighth one,
Hmm.
to consider the chanting of the Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as duty of duties karma kanda. Oh, Krishna.
To instruct the faithless person about the glories of the holy name.
Do not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy name and maintain material attachments even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. It is also an offense to be inattentive while chanting. Yeah, every devotee who claims to be Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success. Krishna Prem.
Krishna Prema.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhu
Sindhubhyo
cha
Patitanam
patitanam
Pavanebhyo
pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
vaishnavebhyo namo
Namaha.
namaha.
Pancharatta ki jai, Nityananda Prabhu.
Jai,
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 Mahaprabhu ki jai, Shila Prabhu,
Jai,
Jai Gaura Prabhu.
Jai.
Haribol.
Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Bol.
Hari.